What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Game Week 5 review video. It's a bit late. I was supposed to put this on the Monday, but now it's coming out on the Tuesday for you. So, hope you enjoy this. We're going to be looking at Game Week 5, the fixtures, some players to target, and players maybe that you need to look into selling, and also what in terms of what players that I'm looking at in terms of who were really interesting for a Game Week 6 wildcard as well, which I am on as well. So I'll be mentioning all of that in this video. So hope you enjoy it. And if you are new, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button as well for everyone who's watching. It's free. It only takes a couple of seconds. Until then, let's get straight into the video. All right, so 62 points for me this week. We take a green arrow, which means we go from about 7.9 million to 5.7 million in terms of an increase, which is pretty good. Sells disappointing. Kukurea even more disappointing. I guess Sanchez was to blame for that. Tennessee returns with Defcon. Williams, thank you very much for the points. Goodbye. Salah, disappointing in terms of an assist return only, which was a bit meh. Bruno Fernandes, thank you very much. Semenyo hits Defcon. Endoy, disappointing again. For Forest in general, very annoying. Richarlison returned, which was very nice. Thank you very much. Joe Pedro, obviously, entire game was just ruined with the red card, so it is what it is. Watkins, in the bin, useless. Now I wish I actually played my bench boost because Reinders on the bench did hurt. Realistically, what I should have done was just bench Watkins, because we all knew Watkins was just not going to do anything, right? Because he hasn't done anything so far. So I should have actually benched Watkins. It is what it is. But anyways, wildcard has been not really activated. I've done a lot of transfers though, so wildcard is definitely active basically. So let's go into the fixtures, starting with Liverpool versus Everton. And this time I'm going to try and keep it low because I've taken down bullet points like suggested. So I have kept it up. So Liverpool versus Everton. Salah only an assist, which felt underwhelming for his price, to be honest. Ekitike scores and keeps the discussion of him or Isak going until Isak is fully fit. So we'll have to see once he actually is fully fit. Gravenberg, obviously not sure if what he's got in terms of points return is repeatable per se. So in terms of FPL, is he an FPL option? I can't really say so at the moment, especially given Liverpool's fixtures now about to turn as well. In terms of Everton, Endai hits Defcon. Fixtures are not too bad as well in terms of upcoming fixtures, and I got 12 Defcon. Pretty decent fixtures, I would say. He's definitely someone I am looking to have on my wildcard. Tarkowski, as usual, will continue to hit Defcon almost every single game, just because of the way he plays and the way Everton play. He'll just continue to hit Defcon. It's just that I can't find a set of fixtures, like good stretch of fixtures where I'm going, oh, clean sheet kind of thing. Otherwise, like I would have had him if that was the case, but without that, it's like just 4 points. I'm like, let's see if I can get a few defenders who could hit those clean sheets. That's basically what I took from in that game. Florian Wirtz obviously didn't start in this game, and to be honest, it's kind of deserved because he hasn't been performing that well as well, to be honest. So I'm not too surprised. Came on, got booked, got 0 points for his owners. Put him in the bin. Moving on to the next game, Brighton versus Spurs. Now, Xavi Simons didn't start in this game, interestingly, and Odegaard instead was the one who played in this position. Richarlison obviously got the goal. Still a decent option, but the thing is, you have to analyze Richarlison as a one game at a time kind of player, so it's going to be a bit annoying when sometimes he doesn't start, but got the goal. I'm happy with the points. I don't think I'll have him though on a wildcard in the next two. Now, like I said, Xavi Simons didn't start, but he came on and played more centrally and looked a bit more of a threat. So now I kind of have to see midweek game, see what happens in that for Spurs, and then decide if I want to take the punt on Xavi Simons for at least the next 2 game weeks, in game week 6 and 7, maybe potentially game week 8 as well. Have to see in terms of, because I won't be surprised with like 3 games in a week for like Spurs with European football as well. There's chances that he gets benched, like what just happened. Kudus again continues his assist points potential, so it's not too bad of a player to own as well. In defense, Romero got Defcon, and I'm kind of interested in Romero as an option over Van de Ven. The only thing with Romero is, apart from just getting Defcon as well, he's a yellow card magnet. So that is a bit of a an issue as well, but he will hit DEFCON more regularly than Van der Ven would. So yeah, I'll build it and see with him and see how he does. From Brighton, Minte and Mitoma are still, I think, my kind of preferred options. Minte obviously with the goal this week. I do think with the minutes that they've been more reliable recently, and I feel like if Brighton's fixtures were to have like a decent stretch, then those are the two players that I would probably monitor. You could say a decent stretch starts from like game week 7. Wolves, Newcastle, Man United, Leeds. It's not too bad. It's just not amazingly great as well. So yeah, Brighton, not too bad. Those two players, not too bad. Moving on. Burnley versus Forest. Williams, what a hit. Great goal, to be honest. Thank you for the points. Now you're out of the door because Forest just don't seem to be keeping clean sheets. And again, I can't really trust them at the moment when they're not keeping any clean sheets. So I'm not interested in owning any Forest players going forward. From Burnley perspective, Estev again hits DEFCON. Good. Dubravka made some good saves, but most of them seem to be long range ones as well. So he, as a player, would, I guess, tend to get quite a few save points. 7 saves here, so 2 save points as well. I think because of the way Burnley play, he will get a decent number of save points. In terms of Burnley attack, honestly, Anthony got the 10-pointer, and he's got like a 10-pointer and a 13-pointer, both against Forest and Sunderland, and an assist. Was it assist? No, a goal against United as well. So he's not a bad option, but I think there's slightly... For 5.5, it's not too bad. Foster as a budget forward, if you wanted a budget forward, it's again not too bad, but I'm not really interested in Burnley attack at the moment. Estev and Dubravka, though, as DEFCON and save points keeper, is not too bad in terms of owning on the bench. And I might potentially just keep them on the bench for my wildcard as well. Moving on, West Ham versus Crystal Palace. So goalkeeper change for West Ham with Areola back in net, and also didn't have the greatest games, to be honest. Callum Wilson started this one over Fulkrug, which meant Paqueta moved into the midfield 3. Again, West Ham bad at defending corners. Interestingly, they scored from a corner as well, but still very bad at defending corners. Bowen continues to slowly tick over with points. He's the one West Ham player, regardless of how bad West Ham are, that might potentially get you points. But it's just going to be slowly ticking over. Mateta obviously benefited from West Ham being bad at corners in terms of how he got his goal. The only thing with this is I don't know if he's actually the best option for a third striker, because you have Joe Pedro, you have Haaland, you have Gyökeres as well, and Mateta. You could probably add Walter Marder as well, potentially into that list as well. I just don't know if Mateta is like your third best strike option or if it's Gyökeres. I feel like Gyökeres with the fixtures might be a bit more better because Crystal Palace's fixtures are not that great at the moment, going to be coming up. Talking about other players, Tyrick Mitchell, amazing goal. Again, similar to alongside Tyrick Mitchell and also the other West Ham defenders Crystal Palace defenders in terms of Guehi and Richards, who both hit DEFCON as well. It's just that their fixtures right now, the next few fixtures from a clean sheet perspective, don't look that great. So on a wildcard, I probably might not have them, just because from clean sheet perspective, they don't look that great in terms of fixtures. So that's the only thing that I would mention. But they both hit DEFCON as well. Wolves versus Leeds is the next game. Now, Goodmanson hit DEFCON in this one. Roden was one short of DEFCON in this one as well. The only thing is, Goodmanson is generally slightly better on the bonus points, whereas Roden is probably a bit more consistent on DEFCON. So you kind of have to decide, if you're on a wildcard, who do you prefer to have? Do you want to try it with Goodmanson, or would you prefer the slightly more consistent in terms of DEFCON from Roden as well? So you kind of have to have a look into that. I'm still 50-50 on who I want between Roden and Goodmanson. I don't mind actually punting on Goodmanson, but as you can see, he's DEFCON. This is the first time he actually hit DEFCON, whereas Roden in generally would potentially hit it more often. It's just that Goodmanson has the higher baseline bonus points, which is why he can get those bonus. Leeds attack, obviously I'm not really looking into it because Calvert-Lewin, Starch from the free kick, and then Okafor scoring the goals as well. I'm not really interested in Leeds attack at the moment. They have struggled to create chances before in terms of scoring as well. So Is this just Wolves being bad? Wolves, on the other hand, good at creating chances but bad at finishing and defending. So it's a problem for Wolves. I also think Josesa is too slow on his feet, and some of the goals could have probably been saved if he was kind of fast on his feet. I don't know why Wolves don't play Johnston. Maybe they should have a look, but for the moment, I would probably target Wolves in terms of whether you're starting your attackers or your defenders as well. Then moving on, United versus Chelsea. Crazy game is all I can say about this. Bruno continues to do well in terms of points, Mr. Reliable, so I don't really have a reason to kind of move him, with the next two fixtures also being pretty good. Game week 8 is where you go. This was the game where I thought I would be removing him for Palmer, but with Palmer's injury situations, I don't see now a reason for removing him. Mbuemo also kind of got something, but now Kune and Mount are back, so I'm not sure what the front three will be like. Will it still feature Sesko with Mount also back? I'm not really sure, so that is something we kind of had to keep an eye out for again and to see whether things will change there. From Chelsea perspective, I think Maresca and Sanchez, both of them just fumbled it from the start, but even then 10v10 Chelsea didn't really offer too much except for like a couple Reece James crosses into the box, one of which Chalobah scored. Palmer with injury issues, and Maresca's comments after the game also didn't seem very convincing. Seems like he's carrying this injury and we're not really sure whether he's going to be fully fit or not. I would only then, in that specific situation, because of this, just Joe Pedro. That's it. I probably wouldn't have any other Chelsea attacker. You could say Enzo, you could say Caicedo. At the moment, none of them are really tempting compared to some of the other players we have on options. I'd probably say only Joe Pedro for the moment, at least. So yeah, that's me. Let's move on to Fulham versus Brentford. Now, Fulham played well overall against a Brentford team that was poor. Iwobi obviously with a great performance with a goal and an assist. Anderson continues to hit Defcon. This guy is a Defcon beast. The fixtures are going to be harder though. Although you could say Aston Villa right now is not a hard fixture. Bournemouth, Arsenal and Newcastle will definitely be a tougher one. However, Game Week 10 is a good entry point in which I think I might look to get in Anderson for that specific entry point in Game Week 10. So he's someone that I have an eye out for in Game Week 10 in terms of buying in. At the moment on a wildcard, I probably won't have it because of the next 4 fixtures being a bit more of a tricky one. But again, Anderson, great for Defcon, will be playing well as well. Brentford, I don't know why they don't start Dango more often. I wish they do because he kind of offers a bit more in terms of when he comes off the bench. So I don't know. We'll have to kind of monitor that and see. In terms of Fulham attack, Muniz almost scored a good goal. Unfortunately ruled out. Iwobi not too bad as well. That's basically it. Although I'm not looking into Fulham attack at the moment. Again, because fixtures for the next 4 not great. Maybe come Game Week 10 we could think about it. Let's move. Bournemouth versus Newcastle. This one I would say is 2 very strong defenses met 2 mid-table attacks, which kind of explains the nil. Now, when I say 2 very strong defenses, this is the team defense XG data, courtesy of Fantasy Football Scout, over the last, basically for this season. And as you can see, after the round of games in Game Week 5, Newcastle are the highest for minutes per XG conceded, with Bournemouth 3rd. So again, 2 strong defenses. 2 mid-table attacks. Got Bournemouth here. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9th, basically, for XG, minutes per XG, and Newcastle again way down at the bottom of the year for minutes per XG. So it's 9th against 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 9 against 15. So you can see why I said mid-table attacks. So 2 strong defenses between 2 mid-table attacks. Kind of explains the nil. Semenyo hit Defcon, interestingly, no attacking returns. So Senesi again continues to hit Defcon. Almost came close to 2 bonus points as well. Unfortunately, didn't get it. Really good option to have in. Newcastle, Walter, I think because he gets involved in the build-up play, there is that empty space in the pocket when he gets involved and then no one is there in that striker pocket. So I think they just kind of had to play a bit more to get used to him as an option. Now, Anthony Gordon should be back now after his suspension for the next couple of games against Arsenal. Will be very interesting to see how those 2 play as well. So far, we haven't really seen it, so we'll see. Sunderland versus Aston Villa. Great goal from Matty-Cash, I should say. There was quite a bit of curve on it, which caught the goalkeeper out. But Villa just poor in attack overall. And when I mean poor, They're bottom of the table, guys, for minutes per XG. They're really poor. I would just sell Villa attack. I don't know what you're waiting for. Yeah, honestly. Like, I don't even see them getting anything against Fulham and Burnley at the moment. Burnley also playing pretty well, to be honest. So I have no confidence in Villa. I'm happy to get rid. Sunderland, on the other end, I think they will do well this season. Defensively, they've been pretty good. Again, they are 3, 4, 5, 6th for defense. So far, they've been pretty good, Sunderland, defensively. One thing to mention is obviously Mukiele got DEFCON again. If you're on a Game Week 8 bench boost, I think he's someone you should probably look at owning for a Game Week 8 bench boost. Look at that consistent DEFCON returns at 4 million. Really good price. Alderete also got DEFCON. This guy could be a slightly bit more of a set piece threat as well. He hasn't been as consistent with compared to Mukiele, but he's come close a couple times in terms of DEFCON. So maybe he's also someone to kind of consider if you were interested in maybe some potential attacking returns. He's not too bad, but Mukiele I would slightly prefer because of the more consistent DEFCONs. So kind of makes him a slightly better pick. Sunderland attack, I'm not really looking at anyone. Now, the final game, Arsenal versus Man City. Haaland doing Haaland things is basically all I can say. The interesting thing with this one was that Eze didn't start. So I don't know if that will change, but obviously with Arsenal's amount of depth, you can it's a lot. Like they will rotate quite often. So Haaland did Haaland things. Reinders, he hit DEFCON as well, but that could also probably be due to the opponent more than anything. Also, he was basically a striker when Haaland got subbed off as well, so which is a very interesting thing to kind of keep an eye out for. Madueke was actually not too bad, I thought. So I felt like it was a bit unlucky to kind of get subbed, which kind of also shows that Saka is still like the first choice option. Eze, like I said, didn't start, but did well when he came on for Merino. So he was part of that midfield 3 on the left. And something I also noticed was Saka was playing on the left when Martinelli was on. Now, I don't know if that was tactical, where he just targets Nunes, or kind of something to keep an eye out for when maybe even Madueke is playing well and then both of them, where Saka is on the left, Madueke on the right. I don't know. We kind of have to wait and see in terms of that. The only thing that kind of puts me off at the moment is that both of them might now be a minutes risk, because both of them actually, like Madueke is a decent alternative, right, to give Saka a rest. So that's kind of thing that puts me off, which kind of increases Gyökeres's reliability maybe as an FPL option. Obviously didn't have the best of games, but it is against City, not an easy game to have a good game. Although he hasn't done, one thing to mention with Gyökeres is he hasn't done well against some of these big teams. But he's done better against some of the smaller teams. So that you could probably say he's more of a bully against the smaller teams. Now the fixtures after that are not too bad. West Ham in Game Week 7 is a good fixture. Fulham might be a bit tricky. Crystal Palace will be tricky. But then Burnley, Sunderland, I mean, he could probably, there is potential investment there with those fixtures. Newcastle might be a hard one, but after that it's actually not too bad, to be honest, looking at it. So that is something to keep an eye out for. Anything else that I kind of wanted to mention? Oh yeah, Foden, he was kind of MIA. I actually didn't notice Foden for most of the game in terms of the highlights. So he's kind of gone down in what I wanted as a punt for like the next couple of weeks, because obviously Burnley City versus Burnley, City just generally have a really good record against Burnley in terms of the amount of goals they score. I was kind of thinking of a triple up on Man City, but because Foden didn't really do too well, he's kind of gone down in terms of my punt estimations. Maybe Doku is someone that potentially could be a punt, but yeah, that's basically it in terms of the review. Hopefully this one is a bit more shorter than what it was. Can't really tell how many minutes it's gone, but yeah, if you reach up to this point, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and we'll be doing a team selection video today live on the channel, so make sure you hit your notifications to get notified when I go live. Thank you all for watching. See you later.